Hello and welcome to the Bodysurf podcast with your budgie boys. Just Big Dog here tonight on what is one of the most exciting days of my year, the eve of Whomp Camp. You know, there's a lot of talk about what's going to happen this weekend at Whomp Camp, but you know what happens at Whomp Camp stays at Whomp Camp. So if you want to be there, if you want to be in on the know, you've got to get there. That's this weekend at Seal Rocks, or Seals Rock as Timmy likes to call it. Huge show I've put together. I'm just by myself. It's a bit scary, you know. Timmy does this for a living, but me, I'm just a regular sort of guy, you know. I put some plants on a truck. The truck goes to Bunnings, and then you guys hopefully would buy the plants. But I'm a bit of a fish out of water here by myself, trying to produce something that's worth listening to. So I've got a couple of my mates calling in. I've made a few calls myself. And we're just going to check in with what people are doing in the week leading up to Whomp Camp. You know, so some people are excited. Some people think it might get a little bit too wet, a little bit too drizzly. And, you know, they might be right. It could get very, very wet. Now, obviously, it's not going to get as wet. Well, fingers crossed. But it can't get as wet as Swamp Camp. You know, everybody left. I think it was just myself, April, Corey Sainsbury, and none other than sneaky Sean, the bin chick. The bin chickie himself from Maroubra Bodysurf, Big Shawny. Now, I haven't even heard if Sean's coming this year. I sure hope he does. He kind of likes to float around. But he's a good guy and he's great behind the lens. You know, that's one thing that we are lacking in the eastern, the East Coast scene is a few more photographers, because we've got Dave Malloy and we've got his understudy, Sean the bin chick, and that's about it. I've decided that I'm going to take my camcorder this year and get some cheeky old school sort of 90s footage. Whether it makes it to the socials, that's yet to be seen. But I've been playing around a little bit with it. I've had a go with Pete, Pete from Vow, and I got a couple of clips of him the other day, and yeah, it was pretty fun. You know, it was. It's got some pretty good digital zoom, that thing, for a 30-year-old camera. But no, listen, it's going to be great, whether it rains or not. You know, it's always a fun time. I'm sure that the Stocko Wampers are going to have a fire that's about as big as a caravan. And we'll just all gather around. It doesn't matter how wet it is. It will be dry there. And the banter will be flowing. The beers will be too. I'm not even sure if there's any budgie boys coming. You know, and that's a big thing. You know, we used to say that like Whomp Camp was that was the weekend. That's what you set your year around. It's not Christmas. It's not Easter. It's not Hanukkah. It's Whomp Camp, and obviously Whomp Off as well. The Australian Body Surfing Classic. Should I name the wrong name? He who should not be named. But yeah, listen, I'm excited. Swell, looking like it's on. You know, we can't get swell at a competition, but we can get it at Whomp Camp. You know, and Seal Rocks is such a great venue for it. You know, it juts out so much on the East Coast, and whether the wind is strong from the south, a big southerly, you can hide around the northern side of the cove and get a cheeky little 3-4 footer that's clean as, and just tuck into the big puka, as Corey Sainsbury likes to call it. Thinks that he's an honorary Hawaiian these days. But yeah, listen, it is looking good. It's looking like we could get up to sort of 10 feet of swell, which is very exciting. Now, I've got my good friend on the line, uh, Dan, big Dan Carr, Whomp Camp Helpline. How you going, mate?
Hi, Whomp Camp Helpline. How may I help you?
Hey, mate, we're just here at the Bodysurf podcast, and we wanted to know how conditions are looking because I don't have my ear to the ground. Whomp Camp Helpline. I'm unaware. I'm blissfully unaware. What are we expecting?
Well, reports from our northern correspondent of the Central Coast indicate promising south swell. I haven't seen the updated conditions today, just due to kids' sport, but it's looking good.
Well, that's good to hear,
Looking
Chev.
frothy.
It's just as that time of the year where we get really excited for just everything Whomp, and listen, I'm really excited to see your face. What time are you going to be heading up there this weekend?
Well, I've organised Friday off,
Mm.
so I'll be heading up early Friday morning. There's probably a few in that same boat from the sunny Central Coast. So probably, do the usual before the camp opens, probably head to Boomers and check out what's happening there. So I would say, on the road around, I'm going to say around 6.
Now, are you in the Whomp cab this year, or are you
No, no,
tenting?
I'm no, in our ninth year, I'm taking it back to the natural conditions, and I've got my swag, or it's not really a swag, but the Austrail RV5, no plug, hashtag ad, batteries from a fridge and everything like that. So I'm taking it back.
Hey, mate, that's really good to hear.
I am trying to work out though whether I've been messaging John at Treachery, and I'm hoping he can. We were discussing whether we would cordon off Lovers Lane, if you know that
Yep.
area, as the communal fireplace.
Well, it's been pretty wet this year, So, like, how's it going to pull up? The campsite is often quite swampy.
Well, it depends on if you're down low. So Lovers Lane is up its elevated little section with probably northeasterly views. So I'm hoping that would be elevated above the lower section there before the big sand dunes. So if you get the drift, if you go down there, Lovers Lane, you sort of shoot out the other side and it's up on the left. So I'm hoping it's favourable conditions up there. That'll at least be nice and dry for, communal fireplace and everyone to have a good old catch up and if not sing along. So yeah, hoping it's all good.
Now, everyone tends to kind of stay in their own area. Now, we've got the Stocko Wampers, which are obviously going to be there in full force again this year. Is it safer to stick with your own crews, or do we want a bit of mix and mingle?
Oh, I think that's part of the reason admin's coming back is because that's what the whole thing's about, is that vibe, that community. Obviously there'll be Flannelette Corner with the Stocko boys, I'm hoping we still everyone camp where you want, but hopefully we can all get together for a few communal beers around the fire and a few laughs and talk about the war stories and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm hoping for this year.
Well, that's good, mate. Now, I don't want to keep you too much longer.
I'm just preparing my fire skills at the moment, actually. Okay. So I'm just having a little fire, just to get myself in the mode. So sort of a bit of a pre-Whomp Camp taper.
Well, you need warm tootsies, don't you? That's really, yeah. By the time you get to Sunday, if your toes are cold, they're coming off.
Well, just like Nam, you got to keep the feet dry.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing.
Yeah, you don't want the Lovers Lane pong.
No, definitely not.
Hey, how'd Toby go today, mate?
He was up at we're up at Budgie Water today.
Oh, round my hood.
Your neck of the woods. So no, they played well. He was starting lock today. Got a few out because it's a catch-up game because of school holidays. Starting lock. But they went down 20-10 against Kincumber, who were in the grand final last year. So, and they got held up twice over the line. So it could have been a closer game.
No, yeah, not too bad. Now has he graduated to Whomp Camp yet, or is he still? You're trying to get as far away from him as possible.
Oh, I've still got a bit. He'll have footy on anyway, so he'll have footy commitments for that stuff. So, not just yet.
It's Loz's weekend.
Oh, Loza, what's she doing? She'll be running. She's doing a training run for the Gold Coast Marathon. So she's doing a run. She's doing the Beta Bays on Sunday. So she'll do I think she's running from Gosford to Werribee pre the race. and then doing a half marathon at marathon pace or some stuff like that. Some crazy shit.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. You get to that sort of age and everyone just wants to run. I'm not there yet. And thankfully,
I'm past it.
yeah, that's right. Swimming's much better than running. And
your heart only has so many beats.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Why waste any unnecessarily?
Exactly right. All right, mate. Well, I'll see you up at Seal Rocks very, very soon.
No problem, mate. Take care.
There he was, Dan Carr, Whomp Camp Helpline. Thank you so much for your insight for the weekend ahead. And isn't that interesting? You know, Lover's Lane, very aptly named, isn't it? Body surfing is love, and there's no better place to unite that love than Lover's Lane at Treachery Camp at Seal Rocks. So, you know, if you want to stumble on down from Flannelette Corner with the Stocko boys, Lover's Lane will be open. And you know, I know Uga has a girlfriend now, very serious girlfriend, might I add. But you know, his tent is always open. It doesn't matter at what time of day, what time of night. Uga's tent is always open. I know this well from him trying to hit on April's 17-year-old cousin at my wedding. But listen, in all seriousness, it's going to be a great weekend if you've got the time spare and you go, listen, I'm keen on this. I don't know much about this body surfing thing, but maybe it's for me. Plenty of people have done this before. The amount of times just complete randoms turn up at Whomp Camp, and you're like, where did you come from? Who are you? How have you heard about this event? And they go, oh, just, you know, like was just searching online, found the podcast or heard through a friend and thought I'd turn up. And you know what? Some of those people are lifelong body surfers now because of this random event started by a bunch of mates and has grown into such a really good community event. You know, it could be a lot bigger. We would love it to be a lot bigger, but you know, the sort of anywhere from 50 to 100 people it's been at its sort of biggest peak. It's a really great amount of people. The community sort of, you see these people once a year. They come from all over, you know, those of us that might not know where Seal Rocks is. It's really in the middle of nowhere. It's even far for sort of Sydney-siders to get there, but you get people drive up from Melbourne. You get people, we've had people from WA, Western Australia there before. For overseas listeners, that's like a 14-hour round trip. Like if you hop on the plane and then leave from the airport and drive up, you know, like that's a long way to go for a body surfing camp. But that's just how important this event is for those of us that go. We have so much fun. Listen, it's not the only event on this weekend, and there's been talk about the Ospreys. You know, some people are for them. Some people are against it. Those who don't know what I'm talking about, it's the Aussie Ospreys representing Australia at the Point Panic competition, the International Body Surfing Association comp run at Point Panic in Hawaii. We're sending a team of Aussies over there. You know, it's not a team event. It's an individual event, but I think for the sake of camaraderie and just joining together as sort of like, this is us, this is our unit, they've kind of got the big team vibe going. So the Aussie Ospreys are heading over to Hawaii. And you know what? I've got my other good friend on the line right now. He's one of the hot favourites for the competition. Here he is. Jared Bridges, live from Hawaii. Mate, how are you going?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Good, mate. You look very dark there.
Mate, we're getting very tanned. Yes, yeah. So tan, but the skin is peeling.
So who you with? What's going on? You've had a big day of surf. What's going on right now? You look to be in the back of an Uber.
We're actually in the back of the cars that are provided at our Airbnb. And Jack McRae's driving the left-handed drive here in Hawaii. We've got Patrick McNally in the passenger seat doing directions, and I'm in the back observing.
That's so good, boys. Now, tell us about what's been going on. You know, I've seen the updates from Instagram, but like, it's just been a week of just non-stop froth.
Mate, there's a 6 a.m. car that leaves every morning to get down to Point Panic at about half past or 6:15, about a 15-minute drive. I haven't been part of that team yet, but the crew have been strong with going down every morning. Today it was pumping all afternoon, offshore winds, and it was probably like 3 to 4 foot sets, and they were just beautiful waves. Um, and then we went to Sandy Beach 2 days ago and just tried to see if we could lose any limbs or break any bones or anything like that. Um, None of that was done, but yeah, it was a great day.
Sandy's is just mental, isn't it?
Oh, mate, it is the most hectic shore break in the world. But I actually will kind of say that it's probably not as hectic as like Narrabeen or something. The sand is a lot softer here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Interesting.
The sand is pretty soft, yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So
I didn't when I was there last time. I did not compare sand hardness. That is one thing I did not do.
yeah. No, we did for sure. My second wave cracked my whole left side of my pelvis and my shoulder. Um, it did feel good. But yeah, definitely the sand's heaps softer. Even like on a 6 foot shore, you feel good.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, listen, mate. Tell us about panics. You know, that's what you guys are there for. You've been surfing it over the last few days. Have you sort of warmed up to what it's like? And tell me, you're excited. The comp starts tomorrow.
Yeah, comp starts tomorrow. We've got actually Paddy's on the first heat. Patrick
Yeah,
McNally's
right.
on the first heat, and
How you feeling, Paddy? How you feeling, mate?
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're doing
Gee,
a
you're a
bit of
handsome bugger.
karaoke here. Thank you. We're full of them. We've got Jack McRae on wheels
Yes.
tonight. Tomorrow is going to be the kickoff of the IBSA, and we're calling it WTF, World Tour Finals.
Yeah, nice.
And yeah, so WTF boys, who's keen? Yeah, we're keen. An absolute privilege to be in the water tomorrow with, no doubt, the godfather of surfing, through the most purest form, body surfing.
Yeah.
And I have been instructed and coached by Richard Evans, the undoubtedly
Oh, the king.
godfather of this side of the aisle. So we appreciate being able to have both these guys in this organization because it brings so much heritage.
Oh, have you got them both together yet?
different-
You know, like MC and the great Big Rich. Like,
I'm not
have they
saying
been together?
They're mortal enemies.
Oh, really?
They're in the water. They have these bands that give them a shock to make sure they stay a certain part. The best part of this trip has been all the different opportunities given to us to meet people with similar mindsets. And
Oh,
that's been the highlight of my trip. Jackie Boy, your highlight.
Yuri Martin,
Correct.
best body surfer of all time. Watch
is
out.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morocco
He will take it out if I don't.
coming in hot. And Jared, what's your highlight?
the highlight is definitely meeting all the people around here.
Yeah, well, that's it.
People. But jumping back to the wave question, it's a very unique wave. There's a green buoy that sits. It's the very last buoy out of the channel, out of the harbour, and there's a shower block up at Point Panic, like picnic area, and you line those two up, and that's where you sit. And it's a very hard wave to get used to. Some of the boys have spent a lot of hours working out the wave and stuff like that.
Very cool.
But it's definitely unique. You have to kind of sit high on the wave to get in the barrel,
Mm.
and then once in it, you just let it take you, and then it eventually goes into this mad foam ball sometimes, and then it just spits you out.
Yeah, it does look like that kind of, you need to ride it really high and sort of almost float in, and that end section just kind of cups and spits a little bit.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
that's what you want. And yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see you guys tomorrow. You know, it will be tough. You know, it's the world's best body surfers in fairness, and you know you're over there, you're giving it a crack. But you boys are confident. You know, the confidence is high.
We've got a pretty strong team. I must admit, we've got a pretty strong team, and you know, like everything's looking pretty good so far. So that's a positive.
Yeah, and how's just the vibe of the team? You know, like you're getting around everyone. There's different sort of age groups, and you know, it's good to learn off sort of those above you, and you know, you can still have a little bit of a party, let your hair down, and Hawaii's a pretty good spot for it, isn't it?
Oh, mate, we have been having the best time. The whole team's pretty stoked to be here. Everyone's really chill, and it's like, look at the view. I'll show you the view. I don't know if it's going to show up on the live, but this is our view from our Airbnb.
Very sweet.
Yeah,
That's a good place to come home to, isn't it?
so good. It is so good. So yeah.
Well, mate, that's
Got
really
the
good
rest
to.
of the crew inside.
Yeah. Oh, who you got there? Yeah. Well, I was going to wrap it up, but mate, if you're home and there's people there, like let us know.
Is this for the podcast? Because I would get everyone to say hello to the podcast.
Oh, for sure, mate. We're live on the potty.
Deal. All right, guys. I got some news. We are live on the Bodysurf podcast. Are we on the phone? Can everyone say hi individually?
Howdy, guys.
Here he is, Big Rich.
Good to see you, Owie.
You.
G'day, mate. Jay. Hey. How are ya?
Hey, big dog.
Sherry.
G'day, boys. Shree.
Hey, you. Good luck.
Big Dazza.
Hey, Owie. Good to see you again, mate.
Dazza.
Miss you, cool on this year.
Mate, I had a bubba. I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I know. I'm coming to Avalon. I'll catch up with you there.
See you there, mate. Good luck.
So yeah, that's just the crew that's in the lounge room. So yeah.
So good, mate. Now, final question. Are you planning to make it up to Pipeline at all before you come home?
The goal is to get to the North Shore. Yes. Apparently, there's been a little wave there over the last week of like 2 to 3 foot.
Yeah.
Um,
Obviously not the right season, but like when in Rome, you got to do it.
That's it. No, we'll definitely be going there to have a look. We've just had another member of the team walk in, and did you want to say hi to the Bodysurf podcast?
Oh, hey.
So-
Hello, how you going?
Hey.
Good.
Been a bit carb loading for tomorrow.
That's so good. Oh, you guys are gonna you're gonna do great.
Thank you. That's the plan.
So keen for it.
Yeah.
We're so keen for it.
Great, mate. Well, I mean, you are missing out on Whomp Camp, the one and only Whomp Camp.
I know. And what dates is it on again? Is it on the?
Mate,
It's this long weekend, eh?
It's this weekend. Well, no, not the long weekend that's just been. It's next weekend. So 5 or 6 days time, we're going to be there. So send your love, mate.
I'll send my love and the waves, because apparently on the 14th, the 13th or the 14th, they are copping some big swell here.
Well, yeah, we're copping some big swell as well around that time. So I'm very excited. We'll see your pictures and you'll see ours, I'm sure.
We sure will.
All right, mate. Good luck for tomorrow and good catching up.
Thanks, mate. We'll speak to you soon.
Catch you, buddy.
There, mate.
The big dog himself joining us there, Jared Bridges from the Aussie Ospreys, and a couple of other friendly faces as well, riding dirty in the back of an Uber. The boys are confident. You know, they are very excited about their chances this weekend at Point Panics, and you know they should be. There's there are some high quality surfers over there in Hawaii, but I would say body surfing is Australia's national sport. And I've been telling the Senate this for years. If there's ever going to be a sport in the Olympic Games, and we've got one coming up in Queensland, if there's ever going to be an Olympic sport, please, for the love of God, do not make it NRL. I'm like the next guy. I don't mind a bit of cutout. I don't mind throwing a cutout pass. But please, it is not a bronze, silver, gold medal sport in any way, shape or form. Someone up there north of the border, Anastasia Palaszczuk, please. Body surfing is the next sport for the Olympic Games. It needs to be Australia's submission. I've got a sneaky feeling they're probably going to say netball, but let's please just think about it for a second. If there's anything that screams Australia that isn't in the Olympic Games already, it's body surfing. 95% of our whole continent, the population of our continent live by the ocean. We are girt by sea. To steal the Bait Bay Body Bashers phrase, we are girt. So body surfing has to be a side note. I'm sorry, I had to get that off my chest. But the boys and girls that are over there from the Ospreys, they're kicking goals. Darren's got the team whipped into shape, and we've had some negative Nellies from Australia saying, oh yeah, it's not the right way to go about it. But you know what? If we want to make this sport more professional, I would say that Darren's going the right way about it. He's getting a team together. He's selling them good. And I don't know where he's getting the cash from, but he's getting the boys and the girls together, and they're having a crack. And they're over there at Point Panics at the moment. Good luck to them. The team, I'm going to read the team out because they do. There's some really good surfers in the team. So here we go. Dylan Kelly. Our boy from the south. Here he is. D. Kelly. Mate, what a surfer. He is just phenomenal. And if you've seen the bloke, doesn't have the best rig for sport in general, but man, he can swim. The Cobras have just snagged a good one there, haven't they? Dylan Kelly, he's going to go really well in the comp, I believe. You've got the team captain, Jack Lewis. I don't know a lot about the guys from up north, but, they've been winning comps. So, we can bang on about anything we want. If we've been sending people up to Queensland to compete at Coolum and the like, and we're not winning. So it might be 1-2 foot slop, but listen, at the end of the day, if you're not winning in all conditions, then who are you? So Jack Lewis, team captain. Jared Bridges, obviously, we just spoke to, big dog on the scene, having a real crack, has really improved as a body surfer over the last sort of 5 years. I think of a session we had a couple of years ago at Whomp Camp, and he was charging some big waves, and he's only a young boy. He's a big unit. You don't think that he's so young, but he's only like 19, 20 years old. So yeah, on the team there, Jared Bridges, we got Jay Ma. Looks to be one of the older units in the team. Might be there for a bit of mentoring. Got Tom Sewell, another young fella. Not sure about his ranking or how he's gone in the comps up there lately. I really haven't kept my finger to the pulse, to be honest. I've been a bit off with the Pixies having kids and the like. It's just taken me away from the body surfing competition. We need to get we just need to get more ears on the ground, or maybe some people with some podcasting skills that can keep me up to. I just need a phone call, just tell me what's going on. Jay Van Der Roos, I think that's how you say it. We've got Jack McRae, Jack. And I will say this as a side note. Good body surfer. We haven't seen much of him. And just off the record, because let's be honest, mate, the comp's been run and done. And if you're tuning in now, I'm trying to do the magic of television. But I've already watched the comp, and Jack was robbed. He made it all the way to the semi-final, and this wave he's caught, right? Front flip into 4-second barrel time, and pushes through the whitewash in the end to almost make it out, in a clean and open face. Scores a 4.2. The kid doesn't make it through, and they put some other random guy in that wins the whole comp. Like Jackie Boy could be number one. He's bloody robbed there. So if you get the chance to go and watch the heats back, if you watch that semi-heat with Jack in it, mate, he ripped. He absolutely ripped that semi. And unlucky not to be in the final, to be honest. Chris Anderson, Ecto, really good body surfer, and will probably be right up there at the end of the comp. Paddy Mack, likes to talk a big game, the old Paddy Mack, but he can back it up with his body surfing skills. And I believe that he's part of the commentary team. So if you can't get enough of the Hawaiian banter, wait till you hear some Pat Mack. All right. And then we've got the girls are going over as well. So we got Ali Zillman, Caitlin Callahan, Lila Crouch, Sherry Tracy, and they're repping the girls. It's not just a guy sport. It's an all-inclusive sport, and that's what I love about body surfing. It doesn't matter who you are, what sex you are. The guys and the girls are competing at the same level, and it's one of those few sports where it doesn't matter how strong you are. It just matters about your technique and your wave riding skills. And then we've got the team manager, Darren Verenkamp, and mate, as I said before, he's getting the team together, and power to him. And Richard Evans, our lovely, beloved Rich Evans, is the team masseuse. And I really hope that he gets a chance to have a body surf over there because, Australia's Mark Cunningham. And if you haven't heard the Rich Evans podcast, please do yourself a favour and check our past episodes and give that one a listen because it is number one. Now, I have spoken a lot about the Ospreys, and you know what? I'm kind of sitting on the fence. I don't know whether I'm sort of, yes, go Team Ospreys, or a bit of a negative Nelly. But I've got to play the balanced side. This is the Body Surf podcast. This isn't the Tim and Owie show. But I'll let you guys speak for it. So I've got one of our regulars on. He's probably too regular, to be honest. He needs a lot less screen time and definitely a lot less airtime because I cannot stand the sound of his voice. But he's on the line. Here he is, my good friend, Uga Mihalovic. Uga Mihalovic, you're live on the Body Surf podcast. How you going, mate?
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's why I called you. I was like, who is dying?
Nobody's dying, mate. We just wanted to catch up,
Hey, good to hear from you.
Oh, mate, it's always good to hear from you.
Yeah, I'm just having my Great Northern in my bed, loving life. Mentally getting ready for Whomp Camp.
Oh, mate, we are ready. Very, very excited.
Very, very excited. The forecast looks very succulent.
Well, we spoke the other day, and you were like, "Oh no, there's 1 to 2 mils of rain on Friday night. I'm not coming." That's a pretty good impersonation of you, actually.
No, I'm just trying to see if there's any weaklings in the group.
Oh, okay.
Just testing out the waters.
Oh, mate, there's about 8 to 10 weaklings that are over in Hawaii at the moment.
Oh yeah. Don't drop in on anyone.
No, we actually just spoke to Jared and a few of the other crew members just only 5 minutes ago. The magic of television. You'll be able to hear them very soon on the Body Surf podcast Road to Whomp Camp episode. Ugo, you've been a bit up and down in regards to the whole thing, you know, what are you? We want to hear it from the horse's mouth. What are your thoughts on the whole situation?
Like what situation? Like, where do we start?
You can start, mate. You're the one who's opened the can.
Yeah, I did, didn't I? Well, I suppose there's different ways to look at it, and I'm happy to be proven wrong or have a conversation about it. I think I'm not a huge fan how, I don't know, Coolum to me was all about having fun, best friends going there, meeting good people, and it was simple. It was one day, and so was Slide, and so is ABC. And it was all about having fun. I don't know, maybe because I've competed all my life, so I'm competitive by nature, but I don't want to go and compete for like 3 days, go to one comp, to two comps. Like, the comps are really exhausting. Our life is already as exhausting as it is, and to go and like battle 1 foot waves for like 7-8 hours once day's fine, and you got to do it 2 days. So it was all about fun, and then this IBSA came out of nowhere, attached itself to all these comps, and all these people started popping up pretty much saying, this is the qualifier, this is the world championship, this is all it matters, what you do doesn't matter. It was just in your face, and we're like, hold up a second. We've been around here body surfing, promoting the scene, supporting and sponsoring the scene for like last 5-6 years, and we weren't part of it anymore. So there's a lot of bits and pieces that it just doesn't quite sit with me, and I think part of me, likes that whole idea of talking at the come hell or high water when they say, let other sports be as big as they want, and let boogs and surfers drop in on us. We just want to do our thing, have fun, and have this little tight-knit community. The moment you start to, also, there's so much to talk about. Like, this could be a whole podcast, but I come from a professional environment, from a professional sport, and then we're trying to imitate that, but we don't have the foundations. We're nowhere near it. And I think we're falsely pretending that we are actually going somewhere where we are not. That's another thing. And then the whole sponsorship thing, I think that there's a lot. I don't know. So as I said, I played almost professional sport all my life. I didn't get a cent out of it, other than obviously, things that were like extracurricular benefits, like coming to live in the God's country, Australia, and all that. But for me, the first time I ever got something out of sport was when DMC sent me a pair of fins, or when Ricky sent me a hand plane. And that's what made me fall in love with sport, and made me always push to try and give back to those people. And I think the way we can give back is by promoting it on our social media, by going and catching the biggest waves, the finest waves, the longest drives possible. We had all these comps, which by no fault of their own, unless it's really fun, they failed to offer something to all those guys who are keen to invest. So yeah, all of those things, I suppose there's a bit to unpack, but I'm in no way saying that the amount of effort that's been put in should be disrespected in any way. I think it is wild that people can organize all these events and all these IPSAs and take a crew to Hawaii. I think that all of that is really impressive. I suppose my 2 cents is maybe a bit of a community engagement, and maybe there's a better ways to invest energy, but that's just my 2 cents. And I think that you're not far off the mark there. It seems that in a way there's 2 paths to take. You're kind of on the road to Hawaii to compete in the comps to try and build some sort of level of professionalism, or you're on the road to Whomp Camp. We're both going to have a really, really good time this weekend, and one of them's competing, the other one's just having fun. Everyone's just body surfing. At the end of the day, it's just the road you want to choose. So I think that you're right in a way. Body surfing isn't at that professional elite standard. Will it ever get there? Probably not. And you're right. It needs the foundation. And in a way, if you competed in 2 comps this year, you were qualified for a World Series competition of sport. Is that a professional level of competing? No, because really people were qualified if they just turned up. I think of what's his name, Eddie the Eel.
at the 2000 Olympic Games. If you don't know what that is, Ulgar, maybe it's a bit before your time, but look it up. It's an Ethiopian guy who literally qualified because he was the only guy in his country that qualified, and he swam like the 100 meters in like 9 minutes.
Yeah. I've seen that. Yes, that's right.
It's a bit like that, you know. It's the community of sport, and everyone loved it, but the guy literally almost died. And
yes, I've seen that.
You know, it's because he wasn't professional enough. He wasn't at the level that was up to standard. And, you know, tomorrow we might find out whether the people we've sent over there are up to that standard or not.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't know. It's just like you. There's also another side of me getting involved in like the financial aspect of things as well. Like, you know, these guys turns out to be super, super lucky. They're having the best time of their lives, and it's great. I'm really happy for them. They're catching waves at Point Pinning. Sandy's looks pretty on. That's pretty good, but like it's generally speaking, from what I've been told, it's not the greatest time of the year to go, and the fees are extremely high. So I suppose there is that aspect of me that I always would like to push. Hey, let's go for a trip. Like, you know, I think something that there hasn't been enough on social media. I think Ecto Handplanes went away to England. Is that true? Something like that. It's amazing because to me, I've never been impressed by how I'm going to go to a place and pay to Bodysurf a comp. Well, I can really just go and catch waves endless on my own time without all the dramas of it. So our Hawaii trip, even when I got an invite to Pipeline, was really just about seeing Hawaii and just going with two really good friends. We made long-lasting friendships with the Hawaiians, and it was just about us going and exploring and doing our own thing. Like, the comp was the least of the thing on my mind. I never tried to pipe it up like, oh, I'm the Australian representing, this is going to be like the world's next thing, and I'm going to like the world tour competing against Mark Stewart, because that's not the reality. We were just going there, dropping in, see what happens in the comp, and the beauty was what was going to come after. So, you know, and as I said, now all of a sudden you have the Australian team, which we never knew about. I mean, you know, that's the thing, Australian team. So you've just created something that's meant to represent all of us, but we never knew about it. So it's really hard to get a concept about it. It's just weird. You're meant to support it, but you're like, hold up a second. How did this whole thing start?
Yeah, and it's an individual comp, but I think it's sort of to bring that camaraderie around the group that's going. Each their own, you know. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you got to start somewhere, I guess, and I think that's sort of what Darren's going for in a way. He's saying, well, you know, we want a level of professionalism, or at least he wants a level of professionalism in body surfing, and his way of going about it is to try and get along on this IBSA train. Is it run in the right way? Some people would say yes, some people would say no.
No, it's not even about right or wrong. I think what I said. I mean, it's a complicated topic, and my mind often swings in different ways as the conversation goes on. It's not so much. No one's disputing what he's trying to achieve. If he thinks that's right to professionalism or whatever, by all means do it. But if you're going to put all of us in the same banner, then consult.
Yeah, okay.
I never said Keel is, you know, like representing every single Australian body surfer and Corey is your captain. Those kind of things just give me dick. I'm like, well, hold up a second. Where are we all in this whole story? Like, you know, we've never done anything before, so it feels a bit like forced. If there was a statement saying, hey, our goal is to take body surfing to a professional level. We're going to create 1, 2, 3, 4 IPSA comps. If you make X amount of points, you will go. This is the plan. We're going to Hawaii. This is the big picture thing. Let's support it. And body surfing as a community has supported everything and anything so far because it was fun. It was part of the community. You know, we went to War, we went to Slide, we went to Coolum. And don't forget, Coolum started by me getting drunk in the bushes. And you pulling me out of that bush. So, you know what I mean? That's how it all begins. and and now we like don't have time to go anymore, which is kind of sad, I suppose. I don't know.
Oh, okay, you did raise a really good point there, and at no time in any of this has Belly Slater's name been mentioned, and that is a crying shame. If there's anyone who's the captain of Australian body surfing, or at least the mascot of Australian body surfing, it's Belly Slater.
Has to be, right?
It has to be. Like he's been completely neglected in any sort of negotiation. We might have to get him online. It is Whomp Camp, where it's the road to Whomp Camp. I'm going to reach out, and I'm going to get his opinion on this, because we've gone far too long, and we've overlooked the king of Australian body surfing. And Uga, I think that might be one of the most intelligent things you've ever brought up. Because it's just, I completely did not even think of saying, all right, well, yeah, like, let's consult everyone. No, there's one man we need to consult, and it's Belly Slater.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think, and I suppose on a final note, just so I don't want anyone to get offended by this, we don't spend the time often enough talking about this. I think these panels, discussions, are always encouraged. I said to you so many times, let's get a panel, let's have a discussion, let's have different opinions. Let's hear what other people are thinking or talking about, because we don't hear often. Everyone's just assuming, me included. So, everyone wants the best for everyone. So by all means, the more opinions, the more things you get on board, the better. And, part of the NRL that makes it fun, any professional sport or whatever, it's the post-game conversation. It's you hear from, Paul Gallen, and you hear from JT. And I was just watching that when you called me. They were both going off at each other, saying it was a send-off. It wasn't a send-off. There's no hate. It's just, it's fun. It makes things interesting. Hopefully you get a few extra viewers on this because of my controversial opinions.
August, sometimes we don't know whether you're agreeing with us or not. Your English is that bad. So anyway, mate, it's been very good to chat to you, and I will see you in just a couple of days for Whomp Camp, and it is looking succulent. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited too.
Thank you for having me, Owie. Nice heads up, bro.
No worries, mate. Catch you soon. If you understood one word of that, power to you, because oh my goodness, that guy can waffle on. And you know what? There is absolutely no shame if you fast forwarded, if you turned off, if you just skipped the entire interview. That's completely fine. I would have done it as well, but I had to interview him and I had to listen to every single word. Now, one thing I will say is he raised a really good point, not just on Belly Slater being the king and the final word on the whole issue, but also just the way that we have two sides of the story, two sides of the coin in regards to body surfing. You either want to professionalize the thing or you just want to be a kook. Now, is body surfing the kook sport? I believe so. It is really fun to body surf well, and body surf in a way that is challenging. And through the 60s and 70s, body surfers had the name as the Hellmen. And, in Australia, that's really what they were. Body surfers were the first people to surf Cape Solander. There was no surf craft. It was body surfing. So you got all the bra boys in there reversing their images and getting their jet skis out for a place that you could literally drive to and jump in off the rocks, saying how hectic they were and that they owned the break and they were this and they were that. Mate, wow. You want to waffle on. You waffle on more than Uga. Gee whiz. Body surfers were the first. So the Hellmen are there. Always was, always will be in a way. It's the body surfing art has always been push yourself to the limits. But it's also about pushing yourself to absolutely nothing. It's surfing in whitewash. It's having a carry-on. I don't think Uga believes that body surfing will ever reach sort of the heights of what water polo and other professional sports have. And you know what? That may be true. But some people want to, and you know what? They can try. So power to him. Good to hear from Uga then anyway. I know we give him a lot of crap, but he's a very passionate man. And I'm looking forward to seeing him in just, for me, a couple of hours' time. I'll be leaving in not too much longer into the future, which is really exciting for me. But we better wrap this thing up pretty soon. This has been one of the longest podcasts I think we've ever done. And we've always said that we're going to do a road to Whomp Camp. This will actually get you to Whomp Camp. This is long enough. If you're leaving from Sydney, you got to get all the way across. You got to get across the bridge. Then you got to get up the F3 past the Great Aussie Bush Camp, see the Rock. Rest in peace, the Rock. Burnt down a couple of years ago. Get through Bulladila, and then turn right, and you're on the Rocky Way. The Lakes Way. I think it's called the Lakes Way. And gee, and that is a terrible road. So you be careful. If you're on the Lakes Road, the Lakes Way right now, you please be careful because Seals Rock is waiting for you, as Timmy would say now. None other than the man himself is on the line. He's waiting with bated breath, live from Bali. Here he is, the second half, the yin to my yang, Timmy Ranky. How you going, mate? It's a Bing Tang Body Surfer. Timmy Ranky, mate, how you going? Welcome to the Bodysurf podcast.
Oh, geez, are we on the air?
We are live.
Get ready to dump because I got to get out of here. Can I call you back?
Oh, no, of course not. This is it. This is one and done, baby.
All right, give us a sec.
Oh, no. I want the poorest audio quality you can give me. That's bad.
Yeah, mate. We're running off about 2 Gs of data.
Mate, I've been all around the world in this podcast. I've been to Hawaii. I've been to Uga's place. Now I'm talking to you.
Wait, you've been to Serbia?
That's where they make the keels.
This is the Super Radio Network.
Now, mate, just wanted to get your thoughts
From
on...
Serbia to Seminyak.
Now, I just wanted to get your thoughts on a couple of things, Timmy. Please let us know how Bali's going.
Drop for you.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's pretty. Is that like a little inside garden?
Yeah, that's just the sewage runoff.
Can you hear any words I'm saying?
Yeah, I can hear every third and fifth word.
There's like a 40-second delay.
Make sure those words are...
This is high quality listening. Timmy, Whomp Camp's coming up a couple of days. How are you feeling? Are you going to be there? Are you getting back in time?
Well, mate, we got about 50,000 fucking Bodysurf podcast t-shirts to move, so if anyone wants one...
Yeah, I've been spruiking it all episode, mate.
Good.
If you want a Bodysurf podcast t-shirt, please pack your cash in your bag, in your wallet.
For my wedding, so I need to move some of them real
Tim's gone and made like 40 Bodysurf podcast t-shirts. He's like, these are going to sell like hotcakes. He sold one to me and I didn't pay for it.
You were going to buy me a non-alcoholic Bintang, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Now, do they do those over there? I would say that we've...
Let me just try and get some internet. 1 second.
Oh, no, he's... Don't worry, we'll fix it in post. We won't.
All right. I got internet now, though. This should be good.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, nice. Welcome to the Bodysurf podcast, Timmy.
Yeah, mate. Thanks for having me. What's been going on?
Oh, nothing much, mate. Just hanging out. Had a chat to a couple of people. Just wanted to get your thoughts on sort of the Point Panic comp, obviously, and then and Whomp Camp.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't really been covering point panging over here. State of Origin Game 1 sort of been the main focus. And,
Who are people barracking for over there, Timmy? Is it a Queensland sort of area?
A few Queenslanders,
Yeah.
a few Blues fans. I mean, a few blokes walking around here more concussed than Reece Walsh, so it's hard to get a vibe of who's going for who, but it's been fun. I mean, I bought a Blues jersey for about 20 cents.
Is it a genuine?
Oh yeah. All that money is going to Brian's lawyers, so that's good.
Now, Timmy, are you having fun? Are you staying sun safe?
Yeah, I'm obviously in the big rash dirt right now, but yeah, I've been spruiking the budgies a bit. We went to Mississippi yesterday, where it's a very fun beach house where a couple of people have died, but it's my favourite place to go. And there was one other bloke wearing budgies, and he said to me, "Hey mate, nice budgies." I said, "Mate, what are you doing? You're in the budgies and you're looking too fit. You got to work on that rig." And he goes, "Oh yeah, I'll smash a few bing tangs and we'll see how I go." And he did. He smashed about maybe 30, but he still looked as fit as Corey Sainsbury after 20 bing tangs. So
how much repairs a bintang setting you back these days?
Depends where you buy it from. I mean, you can get a 6-pack for probably $5.
Okay.
But there's not many non-alcoholic options over here, so I've been just drinking coconut straight out of the tree.
Yeah, nice.
Been getting on some mangoes. I've been getting on some pineapples, some dragon fruit, very popular over here. But yeah, I mean, I'm on island time, mate. I've been doing nothing. I've been looking at some group chats, and they've been going on.
Have you had a body surf?
Yeah, I went to Finn's Beach House yesterday. I had a look at the clientele and said, "Not for me." But there was a wave pumping, and
oh yeah, I've heard it's been going all right.
Yeah, the problem is you can't really hire flippers anywhere.
Oh, right.
So my options are to either jump on a big fat foamy or go al natural, but it's honestly probably been a bit too big to go out al natural. It's been about, honestly, 6 to 10 foot.
Yeah. Bit too big for Timmy. Timmy's a small wave specialist.
I mean, with the flippers, I would give it a crack. And the lifeguards here seem to have my back. No, not a bronze medallion in sight, but
yeah, no,
they'll look after you.
They only started swimming in about 2008, and I'm dead serious because when we went over there the first time, there was no one in the water.
I mean, in 2004, there was a huge tsunami, and
they're like, "Well, shit, we better learn how to swim."
But I mean, you're a big fan of Lombok, aren't you, Owie? That's
yeah,
more your vibe.
Yeah, mosque on every corner.
Yeah, a beautiful mosque there, and that's actually where everyone retreated when the tsunami hit. And then I believe President Clinton and President Bush Sr. came over and did a bit of aid work, which was quite nice of them. It's always nice to see the Democrats and Republicans
just get together. A bit of knitting.
I mean, if Biden and Trump could just cook something up right now, I think it would just save this world.
Oh, mate, you're too right. You are too right. And it's just like, we need to get the forces aligned. I spoke to Uga earlier, and he was so against, the Ospreys, and I just said, listen, mate, you need to settle down. The world's got to come together. Body surfing's about coming together. It's getting the Republicans and the Democrats together.
Oh, absolutely. And just keep voting Liberal, but still, let's all come together. Yeah, I mean, I'm not
absolutely.
I'm not as
I
opinionated.
got mouths to
as Uga.
feed, Timmy.
Oh, the taxes. The fingers mean the taxes. I'm not as opinionated as Uga about some of the issues you've probably been talking about, but I mean, I'm all about just getting in the water, and it seems like these blokes are doing that. But yeah, Uga, mate, like, is he gonna run for local parliament? Like, what's his agenda?
I don't know. Yeah, he's well, who even knows if he's an Australian citizen, really? Like, he could just, he's still a blow-in to me. He's English is still bad. So yeah, listen, the book is out on that. But Timmy, you know what? Thank you so much for joining us here, because I was getting a bit lost without you, to be honest. So I just thought I'd give my old mate a call, get the big dog, get the real big dog on the phone live from Bali. And mate, it looks like a sunny day out there, so you get out there with the missos and you enjoy.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, we're just gonna head out, get a few tattoos. I'm getting a full sleeve, and
can you get a Belly Slater tattoo, please? Maybe just like a little flying V down on your wrist or something.
Well, I mean, I was gonna get Billy Key.
Oh, yes.
On my back, Billy Key chicken as a tramp stamp, but I'm not sure, should I get it in Mandarin or in Indonesian?
Maybe just English, so you can actually know what they write. Billy Key's good. Mongolian lamb pancakes, also good. Maybe more universally understood.
The other option is it's always overhead.
Yeah, that's good. But, you don't want to... This podcast might not be around forever. You never know.
Mate, no one's taken us off the air. If we were going to get cancelled, it would have happened episode 1.
You're right. You are too right with that, Timmy. All right, mate. Well, I better get off the phone, because this is stretching out a bit, and I've got to edit this bad boy.
Well, enjoy the edit. I'm not sure what technical setup you've got, but
it's
I'm
not
very
good, mate.
Intrigued.
Mate, I'm on Windows Movie Maker. And they don't even produce that anymore. I had to get it off LimeWire.
Directed, produced, and edited by Louis C.K.
All right, mate. Enjoy.
Bye. You.
There he was, the Bintang body surfer himself, Timmy Ranke, signing off live from Bali. I think he's back in the country now, and what a rig he's got on himself at the moment. Gee willikers. Mate, and Tessie's girlfriend. Geez, punching, isn't he? Mate, he can waffle on, can't he? You'd think he's still drinking. Good thing he's not. But yes, no, Timmy, thank you so much for joining us live from Bali. It's the wide world of body surfing here tonight on the podcast. We've been all around the world, and there's one more stop. You should be almost at the turn off to Seal Rocks now. This has been a long podcast, and we've covered a lot of ground here tonight. We started with Dan Carr, and we got the Whomp Camp report, and we moved on to Jared Bridges over to Hawaii, and caught up with the Ospreys. Met the whole team, actually. We went around the room, didn't we? And then on to Uga's bedroom. Just to get his point of view on everything, Whomp Camp and everything in regards to the IBSA. He's not the biggest fan, just to go ahead and say that. But you know what? He's been outspoken about it, and that's fair enough. He wants to have a discussion about it. He wants to get a panel. He wants to get the big panel. We had the first year of Whomp Camp, actually, we had the big panel. We had about 7 or 8 microphones going at once, and it was all of the teams. All of the team captains from one of the first Whomp camps. First Whomp offs. And there was some good banter. So if you want to check out another podcast, if you've got a little bit more time to kill before you get to Seal Rocks today, you can check that one out very early on. Probably our first season, I would say. So that's like 4, 5, 6 years ago almost now. But yeah, poor audio quality, almost as bad as that stuff from Bali Timmy was serving up just then, but very good content nonetheless. Then obviously over to Bali. We spoke to Timmy and caught up with him, and it's just been a real good one. It's been a long one. As my friend Tom Montgomery says, it's been good from afar, but far from good. But you know what? That's what happens when you're just flying solo here. There's no one to keep you in check. This has been an hour and 5 minutes of the most shoddy work I've probably ever done. But I hope that you've been entertained. And I guess until probably next time we do the podcast, hopefully it's not too far in the future. You won't have to wait too long for it. But if I don't see your friendly faces at Whomp Camp, hopefully I hear from you very soon on the socials or in person. So signing off for today. I'll see you at Whomp Camp, and don't forget, you never regret getting wet. And it's always overhead when you're body surfing. Catch ya.